Okay, so we are, for what it looks like, currently live. Hello and welcome. We are playing Vampyr today for the wonderful story mode. Play Vampyr with a low challenge, play the original Vampyr experience, play Vampyr more challenging way. We're doing the normal mode.
12 dreams for the Red Queen under crown of stone. 8 voracious beasts born from 8 restless nights. 4 nails piercing the flesh of the sinner. 1 prayer for the summoned, called by this song. 'Tis perhaps the countdown to oblivion for the once proud city of London. 'Tis perchance her inhabitants' last dance alone to face death and pestilence. Confronted by the eerie and unknown, mortals became desperate for answers. A flock's flight makes for an omen, the falling of a star a dire presage. Turning to priests for interpretation when there was no reason to be found. When religion failed, men turned to science. I saw them build such vain cities, crafting machines made for endless war. New questions flourished as old answers withered. What is darkness but lurking sun? What is wall but enslaved stone? What is glass but tortured sand? What is song but a call to arms? What is hate but jilted love? What is life but death pending?
These are all really good questions.
Death. Since the apple was plucked from the sacred tree, mortality.
We want that to be ultra. What does it say that I should have for?
It was believed to be God's punishment, a righteous snare to keep mankind from ascending to the stars. They were all so wrong. Death is not a wicked thing, nor some holy wreck. Retribution. A true punishment would be to never know its sweet kiss. Awaken from the harshness and be born once more.
And we're gonna have to immediately take a beer right back. Baby is waking up. We're back. Sorry about that, guys. It's not a game I was watching, so I don't really know why I'm apologizing.
Thirsty. So thirsty. These patrols are after me.
Look at it! Vicious
No!
bugger!
No! Don't shoot! This is a nightmare. I need to get out of here. This can't be happening.
There's one of those vermin!
No! Please! Stop! I mean you no harm.
Back to the bloody crime!
What's going on? Oh, Mary. What have I done? What's all this about?
Has it fled? Shit, where'd it go?
Now, I can defend myself.
Tricky bastard! Kill that thing! Over there! Fuck!
Who are you?
Vermin!
Stay back! Sorry, but you left me no choice. Who are you? Stupid beast!
Murder! That's what you do with leeches!
Sorry.
Look lively! It's on to us!
No, please, stop! Who are you?
Filthy piece of shit!
What do you want? I mean you no harm. I need help.
Die, you fucking leech!
Please, listen to me. I can't make any sense of this.
Shut up, beast!
Who are you? What is this all about? What in God's
That'll do the rest of the job!
The sun. It feels like it's burning me to the bone. I need to find somewhere to hide.
Right now!
Let me go! I need to find shelter. Is anybody there? What is this place? The place seems abandoned. I should be safe enough here.
Brother, what have you done? Mary, I'm sorry. Whoever did this to us, I will find them.
Creatures do not creatures do not fear the sun or fire. They do not burst into flames or ashes when they are caught under the rays of daylight. It hurts them good, really good. I personally trained a vampire to a tree to see what would happen when the sun rises. Its skin blackens in a few minutes as if burning from the inside. Its eyes and flesh melted. I saw it on a holy boat. Guns move and squeal as the beast tried to escape all day long. In the end, it only desecrated. Only a desecrated corpse remained, which started to slowly regenerate when the sun disappeared behind the horizon. I cut off its head off to finally destroy it, and when I tried the same test with fire, the bloody leeches never come back from the ashes. Fire is our weapon of choice, brothers. To burn the beast is the best way to kill for good. His pocket watch. I think that's his.
Wait. This one's dressed up fancy. Let's run through his pockets.
Picking the dead's pockets? Are you serious?
I've still a rent to pay. He's got no more responsibilities. What's this? Gold watch.
Beautiful it is. We fancy it and share the takings. I suppose we are undertakers. Now, give him an Eve. That's impossible.
Who goes there?
I do know this beginning part. I've done it on another character.
Johnny, this one's lost. We need to leave. And now! No. There's time. I can save him. That's the enemy coming! The orders are to evacuate the hospital! Done. He'll live. And now what? We fight. Killing is a hell of a lot easier than healing. No, it never got easy.
October 15th, bad sleep, bad cough, all night, the fever made her delirious. That's all to read. I don't want to do it.
This makes no sense. None of it. No sense at all. It's a nightmare. That's it. So be it. Rational thinking only. This is absolute madness. I've lost touch with the real.
Madness it is, as mad as the moon. Changes blinding sunlight into a glowing reflection.
Voice in my head. If I'm not mad, then it must belong to the one who made me what I am. I must find him to understand what I have become.
Where is it? It's closed.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Here's the leech. Here!
My head's spinning. It's locked.
Clever fucking beasts.
I cannot enter.
So where's the key for that?
I'm still in Southwark. I must reach the West End.
Die, vermin!
Go back home. There's a strength I never knew I had.
Crush the leech, boys!
This shouldn't be possible.
Fuck it! No!
queen is a fire. I feel like a child learning the limits of my body. My strength, my reflexes. I'm not human anymore.
Your king, your country needs you. Join the British ranks and help brave the lands at the front. Your king and country needs you. Join the and help.
My poor sister. If only I had controlled my need for blood. Mary, someone will pay for what happened to you. For what happened to us. I have this thirst for blood. I cannot enter. The dizziness from the jump. I can now control it. What will London have to say to me? I've so many questions unanswered.
Spooky,
Another
scary
corpse.
vampires.
Have the very streets of London become a mausoleum? The man has been drained of all blood, but I can still smell the scent of it. I follow the scent's trail. Perhaps it will lead me to my assailant. Fresh blood. Something dire must have come about. Where has everyone gone? According to the blood patterns, that's where the victim was attacked. So that must be the killer's trail.
Okay. Common handle parts. Neato burrito.
At last, a little life. Whoever he may be, the killer recently entered this bar. Maybe some of the local...
Oh, God, sir. You look like Jonah's whale just spat you out of hell. Can I get you a drink?
No, thank you. I'm not thirsty.
Well, grab a chair and get some rest. This is going to be another long night.
Why is it going to be a long night?
You must be new around here. Don't you know about the murders?
Tell me more about these murders.
Every morning for the last few weeks, bodies have been found. And those poor sods didn't die of flu.
Do the police have any...
Even before the outbreak, coppers never came round here. We're on our own. People die in these parts all the time, and no one cares.
I'm looking for someone who might have passed through here recently. Wondered if you might help.
It's been quiet tonight. The only other person...
You mean he's still here?
What?
How long...
He rented the room a few days ago and didn't say when he'd leave.
Who is this man?
Well, like a gentleman, I guess.
I need...
Just climb the stairs and...
Yes?
No.
Not long ago, this sort of mess would have given me a laugh.
Good evening, sir.
Wow, you look like you need a drink.
Yes.
Been there, seen that. Don't worry, things can only get worse.
I'll leave you to...
I hope I live long enough to see them wet boot boys get... Hello, sir. Are you all right?
I don't know.
Maybe you prefer to speak with Tom.
What is this place?
This is Tom's bar, the Turquoise Turtle. I'm the barmaid here, Sabrina, if you want to know.
You don't seem to have much business. Where is everybody?
Well, most people are sleeping right now. And those that are awake tend to avoid going out. What with the murders and all.
Are you always open this late at night?
No, it's only since the epidemic started. Tom thought that people may need a safe place to stay.
I just want to talk. I didn't mean to scare you.
I'm not afraid, sir. It's just I've other customers.
I only see...
Oh. Well, yeah, of course. I mean...
I'll leave...
This is no place for you. Prewen has several patrols roaming the area.
They do not pursue me.
But they're looking for vampires, and they're most efficient.
They'll not relent until the killer has been identified.
I have a common objective, but I require...
I think someone is eavesdropping.
Are you certain? You might as well come in, whoever you are.
Slowly, vampire. Who are you?
I mean you no harm.
Saith the vampire. Present yourself.
I need a word with anyone.
Well, that's something I can do for you. And who might you be?
Tell me, who are you?
First, tell me what you want. Then I may tell you.
That's none of your concern.
Sir, you have entered my room in the middle of the night, pale as a corpse and shaking like a tree. So please, indulge me.
Someone is molesting people. In fact, killing them, biting them.
The calling card of a vampire. Like you.
I've been hunted down in the streets and attacked. I'm a victim here, too.
I believe you.
Then if you are not a vampire, who or what are you?
Dr. Edgar Swansea of the Brotherhood of St. Paul. I'm performing an independent investigation here in an attempt to understand precisely what is going on.
And what exactly is this Brotherhood?
Sir, if the name is not familiar to you, then we shall discuss it.
Then help me find the culprit.
I may. If you'll first tell me why you opened this door.
I followed a trail. The scent of blood from a recent victim. It led me here.
You thought I was your aggressor. That explains a great deal. We're both chasing the same shadow.
A shadow, indeed. Yet I heard his voice in my head. There was a moment I believed I was mad.
You should let me handle this affair. You've no idea what you're up against.
No. I will find the monster. He is mine.
How will you do any better than I? But then let me ask you this. What are your intentions if you find the killer?
I will at last have the answers to my questions.
Then I can only wish you good hunting. And pray we shall meet again.
If Swansea is not my attacker, it means somebody else came here tonight.
Evening, sir.
I have a few... I spoke to Dr. Swansea. He's not the man I'm looking for.
The truth.
I suspect that someone else was here tonight. And I don't think Tom wants to tell me about it.
I'm just the barmaid here, okay? If Tom says you're the only visitor we had, then you're the only visitor...
I can feel your fear, madam. Please, tell me what's going on.
It's Will. William Bishop.
Tell me about this William Bishop.
Will was a sailor who worked at the cannon factory before he lost that job. A nice bloke, really. He's never been violent. Until tonight.
Why keep it a secret? Why not tell me about it?
Tom's nothing if not loyal. After Will lost his job, he offered him one ear. They used to be good mates. But recently, well... Will started to get very aggressive.
I see. Thank you for your candor.
Welcome back.
I can't say I have. Are you...
Hey, I told you, you were the only...
Tom, talk to me about the visit from your old friend, William.
Yes, Will came by tonight, but he's not my friend anymore.
I need to find him. It's a matter of urgency. Do you know where he is?
You could try his boat. It's up by the North Pier. He sleeps there when he's too drunk to get home.
Please describe him to me.
What'd you expect? He's a tall, sick bastard with a bad rash and torn old clothes. William used to...
I'll be right back. And we're back. Hello. How are you? I just got back. I'm sorry.
Now he's a mess. Thank
How are you,
Tom.
Leslie?
If you see him, tell him I don't want him back here unless he cleans up his act, okay?
There's gotta be something can be done to get out of this bullshit.
You know, honestly, if I was to grow a beard, I'd want to grow a beard like this,
He
man.
didn't deserve this.
I will get to the bottom of this intrigue. What's been done to me, to this city. The body is still warm. This man has just... What's this? Some sort of note.
Multiple deaths in the dock region. Nasty leeches involved. Locate the beast. Purge it quickly. Warning, according to the recent reports, this vampire is very violent. Approach it with extreme caution. I know we lack men in this part of town, but don't send rookies to investigate the case. If I'm correct, we've got a frenzied one killing each night. As always, search the abandoned places first, like old houses, basements, sewers, or warehouses. Destroy the leeches, brothers. Oh yeah, brother.
These men. This corpse has been dried of its blood, just like the previous victim. This man was armed. He tried to defend himself. Blood and empty gin bottles. This bishop fellow is something of a heavy drinker. There are blood splats on the other side of the canal. I must reach that barge.
Over there!
I'm a vampire.
Nothing here. Let's head back to a warm fire.
Shut that foolish mouth.
This is not the place for you, sir.
Never known McCullum to be wrong about anything.
Right. Last warning, sir.
I feel bad for killing him. Considering he was just like, hey, please don't come after me. This is your last warning. Oh, I should probably send Mel that photo real quick.
I cannot enter.
You make a BRB screen. I'll do that Sunday. We'll make the BRB screen on the stream. Some enemies are more resistant. There are 4 types of resistances: physical, melee, range, blood, shadow. Orange indicates medium resistance, red indicates a high resistance. Interesting.
Crush the Watch yourselves! Here's one of them! He's dead! No!
We won't see any of these bastards back
Over
here
there!
again.
There's one of them! Leech spine! Watch out! Filthy piece of shit!
It's locked.
Yes. Bullets. Okay, does that give us more stamina and more? More stamina, more blood.
Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
As one, we shall overcome this.
This place reeks of bloodshed.
I saw it tonight already, and it did not quench my thirst. I must have more. Oh dear God, not again. William,
This
please
creature
stop.
is bedeviled. I must put it down.
$45 damage, 65. Attack speed is down. Stamina use is up, though.
William, please. Stop. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
I knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain scales are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by scowl?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you... like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Ooh, spooky.
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders. Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood. Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... what manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again, from a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
I just imagine him falling in the water.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Oh, yes. Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Oh, come on, you bastard! I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. Me guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping.
Follow me, Mr. Cox.
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
Did I black out?
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go. But no famished hunter can run for long.
Watch me. Try me, bitch.
Dr. Swansea asked me to collect you, Dr. Reed. Hurry. Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask if... And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Thank you. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. I'm new here.
I've already heard about you, Dr. Reed. I'm Milton Hooks, the ambulance driver for this shithole of a hospital.
That's quite a blunt introduction, Mr. Hooks.
You can call me Milton. I like to speak my mind, Dr. Reed. Perk of the job. Don't judge me, and I won't judge you.
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
Well, I'm no doctor, but I'm pretty sure a gun can't be used as a surgical instrument.
You have a keen eye. I learned to shoot during the war, and have carried one ever since. Old habits die hard.
No need to explain, Dr. Reed. And if you ever need a better gun, remember, I may have something for you.
Let's see what he has.
I'd like to...
Wise choice, Doctor.
Milton shotgun. That's a really strong shotgun.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Callaghan fella.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research. Good evening, nurse.
Good evening, Doctor. I don't think we've been introduced yet. My name is Pippa Hawkins.
And I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. Dr. Swansea has recently offered me a position in this hospital.
Well, it's a euphemism that your help will be appreciated, Doctor.
How long have...
Well, long enough to see that the epidemic is winning. And no matter how qualified you are, don't tell me you'll change that.
You're right. When dealing with such a terrible disease, one must remain humble. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't try our best.
Sorry, Doctor. I don't want to sound bitter, but I'm just too tired to give a pep talk like Nurse Brannigan.
How is the Pembrokes?
Well, not well. Milton, the ambulance driver, is even more grumpy than usual.
Why is Milton grumpy on a daily basis? Is it just an act?
Milton's not the kind of man who's bothered about a bad reputation, whether he deserved it or not.
Why does Milton dislike doctors?
I don't know. Just ask him. But be...
How would you describe this?
It's serious. The flu is wreaking havoc amongst the staff and patients.
Do you need medical help yourself?
I'm fine, really.
How would you...
It's serious.
You must get a hold of yourself, nurse.
Sorry, I'm exhausted.
Nurse Hawkins, the Spanish flu won't last forever. Even the Black Plague didn't kill everyone.
I wish I could believe you. But what if this epidemic was worse? What if in the end...
I mean, she's got a point.
Goodbye.
Hello, Mr.
Good evening,
Scarface,
sir.
man.
Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No.
I'm Dr. Reed.
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
How is your step?
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you precisely?
It's the pains.
Can I do it?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills.
Soldier.
I'm fine.
Goodbye for now.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily...
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no.
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the...
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End.
People are still in despair.
How could it be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice.
Who should I avoid in this part of...
Not really.
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help.
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. It's locked, all right. Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new...
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for?
You keep calling me...
Well...
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal?
I'm curious to know who you were before...
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember. Centuries of...
I'll leave you.
I'll introduce myself to the rest of the idiots later.
It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water.
Dragonbane, what? Where the fuck did that come from? Increases damage dealt by 10%. Absorbs blood points when weapon hits. Well, that's pretty good. 9 damage or blood points. I think the blood points would be better. Hmm. Damage, but this does 90.
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? Yes, Nurse Crane? How can I help you?
I'm so sorry. I know Dr. Swansea wanted you to rest, but we have somewhat of a crisis.
A crisis, you say?
Our supply of antiseptics is nearly depleted. I was hoping there was another box up here, but...
Sorry. There's no...
Some of the patients won't last the night without them. Honestly...
I may have a solution. In France, during the war, drugs shortage was a daily problem, and we had to use our wits to overcome the shortages.
However do you mean?
If combined...
Guess another AFK, because baby just woke up.
Pickle Rick!
Hello, we're back. And hello, Sunnens, how are you?
Incorrectly. Certain household chemical products can be used in a pinch instead. Now, where's the hospital storeroom?
The storeroom? Fat chance. This is the Pembroke, and space is luxury we don't have.
Thank you.
Everything used to be stored in the old morgue.
Perhaps I should look there first.
It's the large building behind...
The abandoned morgue behind...
That's good to hear. Oh, I can't even go out my back door yet. I got here and you were gone, so I was messing with buttons. Ah, I gotcha. Do indeed. Quarantine, influenza, keep out of this area by order of health. Board of Health. Quarantine contagious disease. One shall enter or leave the quarantine area without. Oh. Okay. It's pretty fun. I'm enjoying it.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody...
Get it for free on PS4, but not for free. Photograph of smiling, loving couple, written on the back is Milton Peppa Forever. Oh.
So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well. behavior is similar to the infected William Bishop. Must be the same strain. This sickness moves faster than influenza.
I played anything like 3 weeks, only if flew once too. That's why I'm asking if the game is good. Oh, the game's really good. I enjoy it.
I cannot enter.
Like, it's like Dark Souls, but a little bit different.
This key will surely grant me access to the basement. Balls of Mars, fortifiers. As popular as they are ineffective. But they do contain iron tartrate, and that might prove itself useful. These scowls feed from corpses and the husks of animals. They're not after blood.
Alright, I'm probably gonna be ending this game in a few seconds, but I'm not. I'm just so tired. Just not feeling it anymore.
It's locked,
You
all
as well,
right.
son.
Mr. Connor's injuries don't match the report. I'd better look at... Traces of a pinkish foam at the corner of the lips? Some sort of drug overdose, perhaps? The chest was originally opened to perform the operation. The sutures are clean, but the chest has been reopened. Multiple abrasions and scarring on the arms and legs. Old and distinctive injuries of a sailor or a fisherman. A puncture over the left lung, possibly a chest tube insertion. Not the cleanest work, but I think it was successful. Signs of internal bleeding. So, Dr. Tippett's anesthetics were incorrectly dosed, causing the patient's death. And then he tried to operate on him again. Tippett has made an egregious error. It's time we talked. It's locked. These scowls can be so ferocious. I'm not sure I can defeat them without becoming stronger. To drink blood is so tempting.
This weapon is shit. Get off me.
Good evening, sir.
So it is Dwayne actually, yeah?
Dr. Tippett, yes.
He was...
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die? What happened?
He was my patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so...
Who was this patient?
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed...
Goodbye, Doctor.
Perhaps I should have considered the offer from that Cadogan fellow.
Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin color that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway, to remind you to keep your mouth shut.
What's going on between you and Nurse Hawkins?
Pippa's tired. Tired of all this shit. Tired of all those corpses piling up. She's as depressed as I am.
During the war, I witnessed a few couples just like you come together in difficult circumstances. It can be very damaging.
Maybe you're right, but we support you.
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not meant to have intimate...
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broke?
He's got a point.
I'd like...
Wise choice.
He's got shit for things I want.
Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Doctor.
Pepper, I know you're very close to Milton Hooks.
Yes? Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to report me for that, just feel free, Doctor.
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins, but are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no perfect woman, and Milton is not the finest bloke, but we do our best to get by. That's all any of us can hope for nowadays.
Goodbye.
Finally, you've returned.
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs a...
Duty calls?
Many thanks, Doctor.
Good evening.
No.
Really?
I don't want to talk.
I suppose...
Yeah.
Could you at...
Morton.
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
You are not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
I have to go now.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Good evening, ma'am.
It's my son.
I'm
I'm...
Goodbye, Mrs.
sweet girl. Reads me like a book.
Good evening.
Don't
Thank you.
care about any of their story. I just want to talk to people.
Goodbye.
Every street corner. A daily routine.
Please, Jonathan, come in. Fascinating, is it not? In the last decade, so many mysteries have been brought to light with our microscopes.
Are you coming in? Okay. I cleaned up most of it.
Human body. Biology's penultimate front.
I wish I could.
I cannot.
It may seem strange, but your words.
Forgive me.
There is no need to apologize, Edgar. You offered me sanctuary when I had none.
Very well. I have.
Please.
The Pembroke spoke discretion.
And you would like me to accept.
I'm just too damn tired. It's like the door itself is broken. The door itself is gone now.
I met him in New York once.
If only there were more of us, with less resignation and more determination.
I know I can count on you. I wish I could say the same for the others. The flu took my dear wife, Emily. I take comfort knowing we'll soon be together again.
Mr. Rainfield, that's no way to talk. Good evening, Dr. Reed. It's a pleasure to see you again. You seem surprised. Dr. Swansea has brought me up to speed concerning your recent...
You're a vamp. The lady who saved me that night, before vanishing into thin air. I remember you from the pub with Dr. Swansea.
Indeed.
Apologies. You've taken me by surprise. I'm very happy to see you.
The pleasure is...
I hope you're more disposed to answer my questions now.
You must have countless questions, but I...
Dr. Swansea has commissioned me to be your agent in this matter. You could start by explaining...
These past in...
Please... I'll take care of it.
If that was...
I'll meet them.
My luck...
Cool. I think it looked good. So basically, like going just like the faux hawk type thing, or just like the side shift. Well, all the parts that are down. I think it looked good. I think you'd have a very punk aesthetic, which wouldn't be that bad. You're not wrong there. Also, he's woken up 2 times since he's went to bed. Yeah. It's okay. I probably should upgrade my, probably my health more. It is, babe. I told you it is. Every night, consequences of your actions may improve or degrade the district's health status. Alright, guys. Thank you. Have a great night.